I started my own video production company called Venturesome in 2016 with zero business knowledge. I had no idea about sales, no idea about marketing, and no idea about administration. I was just good at making videos. Yet I was able to grow my video business to over $100,000 per month and sold it successfully in 2022. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly how your day-to-day should look like, how you should actually prioritize tasks and schedule your day-to-day for maximum efficiency and maximum delegation so you can focus on the things that actually matter. As a video business owner, you go through different phases. And phase one is the classic one where you're the freelancer, you're doing everything, right? You're trying to get clients, you need to manage the projects, you need to stay in communication with the clients, you need to go and shoot, you need to do the edit, you need to do the revisions, you need to do everything, right? This is where usually you struggle to pay bills, you kind of want to make it work somehow, you're super motivated to do it, but it's very, very hard. You're relying on word of mouth, you're relying on referrals, and it's just hard. You're busy all the time, you're working all night, and it seems like there's no way. But then there are all these shiny things that keep you going, like this camera you want to buy, or this lens you want to buy, or the company that you want to build, or the team that you want to hire, and all these things that you're working towards. There you're making about like $2,000 to maybe $5,000 a month. Then comes phase two. That is where you start working with freelancers. That is where you start hiring people for the shoot. That is where you start hiring people for editing maybe already. And things get better and better. You already have a pretty good network. You already have people you can rely on that will get you new referrals in. And the thing becomes a little bit more stable. It's still roller coaster-like, but at least you're making anywhere between like $5,000 to maybe $7,000 per month. Then comes phase three, where you start to make really, really good money. Suddenly you're doing like $10,000, $15,000 per month because you not only rely on word of mouth and referrals, but you also started implementing marketing and sales strategies. So that way you have a consistently reliable way of getting clients, and it's more predictable than it was before. You start hiring more freelancers, maybe even your first in-house editor that takes over a lot of the tasks for you, so you don't have to spend so much time editing, and definitely get rid of the all-nighters. And then you transition into phase four, which is you being a video business owner. That is where you start hiring a full-time team. You have systems and processes in place. You're not in charge of the client projects anymore if you don't want to be, and your team is taking care of everything that needs to be taken care of. You're in the position where you can now lead the company, and you're the face of the company, you're marketing the company, you're getting sales in, right? And you're managing a sales team, maybe even if you're doing more revenue, maybe you're in the 50K to 100K a month range. So that is ultimately where I wanted to go. And if this is where you want to go as well, then you've got to consider the following things. First of all, when you hire, always hire a person for the task that takes the most amount of time out of your day-to-day. Do not hire for the tasks you don't want to do, because that is a trap that you fall into. Let's say you don't like sales because you don't have the skills for it, you don't feel like being a salesperson. However, you know that you need to get sales, otherwise the company dies. Don't just hire a salesperson because you don't want to do sales. No, your day-to-day in the beginning is spent mostly on editing. So if you spend like 30 hours a week on editing, hiring an editor is gonna make you so much more money, because that frees up 30 hours of your day-to-day that you can then invest into actually getting new clients in the door, which gives you more resources to then hire more people, and the cycle repeats, right? You got to understand that if you want to be in a position where you can run a video business and you can do whatever you want, you can do project work, you can do editing, you can do video work, you can just lead the company, you can just sit back and relax. Whatever you want to do, in order to get there, you need to go through that sacrificial period where you do everything yourself and you do the things you don't like, but you do them because you know that you have to do them at this point, because that's the only way that you're going to get to the company level that you want to be at. Now, how do you become hyper efficient? When you're running your video business, you need to be super efficient, because if you want to grow, you need to spend your time as effectively and efficiently as possible. Now, what I use for this is the Eisenhower matrix. The Eisenhower matrix pretty much helps you categorize your tasks into 4 categories. Number 1 is urgent and important. Then there is urgent and not important. There is not urgent and important. and there is not urgent and not important. Basically what that means is when something is urgent and important, then do it immediately. When something is important but not urgent, then make sure to plan it in to do it at a later point. When something is really urgent but it's not important, then delegate it to somebody else so you don't have to do it. And when something is not urgent and not important, then get rid of that task. That task shouldn't even be in your calendar. It shouldn't be in your to-do list. This matrix literally saved me so many hours and let me become super efficient, because I just structure my days into the matrix, then prioritize accordingly, and boom, you're hyper efficient. Now here's the thing when it comes to building a business. In life, you can't just be focusing on one single aspect of life. If you just spend hundreds of hours on your business, but you forget yourself, you forget your health, you forget your relationships, you forget family, etc., you're not going to be fulfilled. So even if you're spending a ton of time working on your business, do not forget the cornerstones of life. For example, when I started my video business, it was non-negotiable for me to go to the gym 3 to 5 times a week, right? Because the health that you have is everything. If you're not healthy, the business will not be existing very long. Even if you might think, oh, right now I can put in so much time and effort into it. Yeah, but in the long run, it's going to cost you dearly. So take care of your health, and that will take care of your wealth. Now, there were a couple lessons that I had to learn, and they cost me a lot of money while I was growing my video business from $2,000 a month to over $100,000 per month. And I do not want you to make these same mistakes. One of which was what I just mentioned before. I hired the wrong people for the wrong tasks. And the second one was I hired people way too fast without thinking through our workflows. As an example, I had project managers in my company, I had videographers in my company, I had editors in my company, I had a sales team in my company, I had everything that was needed for growth. However, I did the calculations for scaling, and I calculated that every project manager can handle 7 clients at the same time. So let me just hire more project managers and we can get more clients. That was dumb, because what I actually would have needed to do, and I did that later on, was see how can I get a project manager to manage 20 or 30 clients instead of just 7. And that way I could save so much money, because I don't have to hire project managers that cost me like $7,000 a month. And instead I could have a few of them, and they are able to handle more projects because our systems and workflows are more clean and more streamlined. Now, all these things I had to learn the very hard way, right? I had to spend money, I had to make the mistakes, it cost me time, but that could all have been avoided, and I could have gotten there way faster if I would have just had somebody who knew exactly what to do in what stage. And I can be that somebody for you. So if you want to grow your video business to $10,000 a month, and then even $40,000, $80,000, $100,000 and beyond that a month, then I can help you. Just go click the link in the description below this video and watch the free training that I recorded for you, so that you can actually see how we can help you scale. It costs nothing to click that training. It teaches you a ton, and who knows, maybe we'll start working together. See you there.